Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Debugging Math. In this episode, we are going to be talking about Simplex Table, or like I like to call it, Simplex Tableau under linear programming. Now, in this episode, a lot of questions have been emanating as a result of the topic linear programming. Now, when we talk about linear programming, people usually ask questions like what method, what process, and the mechanics, and more often they always ask the validity of the result. For this class, we are going to be trying to trash out the understanding of it first before we go into that. For the validity of the results are always the same, regardless. You use the algebraic method, you're going to get the same result. You use the mathematical method, you use the matrix method, and then you use the tabular method. They all give you the same result. The only difference lies in the processes and the mechanics. And that's what we are going to delve into today. But today we are going to be talking about Simplex Tableau. Now, the only difference in Simplex Tableau with the mechanism of arithmetic and the algorithmic one is the issue of choice. People pick what they want. People pick arithmetic because it's straightforward. People pick tabular because it's more precise and it gives a more accurate result. While other people pick the matrix method based on, well, they just like stress. Well, it depends on your choice. So for today, we're going to be talking about Simplex because I like simple stuff. So we're going to be talking about Simplex Tableau, the simple table, and how to get along with it. But before we go into that, we're going to talk about the understanding of it. People usually make mistake of trying to dive into the calculations and the algorithm without understanding how those things emanated. This tutorial class is going to try and break down those problems. Understanding the fundamentals gives you a better understanding of the complex structures. I'm going to use a very, very mundane example that everybody can relate to. So first thing you talk about when you talk about linear programming, you're going to talk about constraints and you're going to talk about objective. Objectives, we all have objectives. But in our objectives, there are constraints that hold us from achieving those objectives. Now, if we are going to talk about objectives, let's go with one that everybody wants to be. We're going to go into financial economics, for example. In life, everybody wants to be a millionaire on the average. On the average, everybody wants to be a millionaire. I think you can agree with me. You all want to be millionaires at the least. Nobody wants to be a thousandaire. Everybody's already a thousandaire. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. And I need you to also remember that in economics, they say every rational human being wants more to less. Nobody wants less. Even if you have $1 million, you want to have ₦1,001 more. So the problem with becoming a millionaire now is that being a millionaire ranges from 1 million to 999 million. But which category you fall into depends on the environment you find yourself. And then this is where constraints come in. The objective is to become a millionaire, regardless, 100, 999. Problem now is if you're in an environment that the maximum you can achieve is 2 million, you can't go more than 2 million because all that is available in the environment is 2 million. And that's your constraint. You're a millionaire, objective achieved, but subject to the constraint of the environment being 2 million that is there. And that is where people always mix it up when talking about linear programming. They don't know how the constraints come about. They just believe that it's just formulated from the questions. No, the understanding of constraint is in an environment, there's always limited capacity of resources. So how you maximize those resources to the best of your ability to achieve your objective is what linear programming comes in. And that's where Simplex Tableau tries to simplify it. So once you can put all these things in context, it begins to make sense. So when you see an equation and you say the objective function is to become a millionaire, right? I need to write this down. So the objective function here is to become a millionaire, our objective. If you see this, it means objective function. Millionaire. The constraint, which is cons, in this will be regarded as 2 million, because that's the maximum amount in that environment. The overall expected objective that the person wants to get at the end of the day could have been 999, all things being equal. But in a world that is not balanced, do you understand? I mean, all you have is 2 million. So the maximum you can achieve here is 2 million, but your objective of being a millionaire overall is already achieved, right? So let's dive into the calculations for the Simplex Tableau. Let's give an illustration that will make more sense with this example.